what we're going to be talking about in this video is 3 ways to be more present to the moment in your day-to-day life so that you can actually stay present with everything that you do. Because it's one thing to learn how to be present in meditation, but then the ultimate goal is to be able to stay present with everything that you're doing in your day-to-day life. Okay, so the first way to be more present to the moment, and these are all going to be very, very simple, by the way, okay, but don't discount the significance of these because they're incredibly powerful and can completely shift your experience in a lot of ways that you might not realize. Because the goal here is to step out of the thinking, because right now a lot of the times we may be absorbed in our thinking without realizing it, having a ton of unconscious thought patterns where our attention and focus is in the thinking without realizing it. But what we're trying to do here is to step out of that thinking and enter the present moment. Okay, so here's 3 ways to do that. The first way to step out of the thinking and enter the present moment and incorporate this into your daily life is going to be to focus on your breathing. Okay, this is so powerful. Don't discredit this and don't miss the significance of this one because this is so powerful. And if you incorporate just becoming conscious of your breathing in your day-to-day life and make it a habit to do so, what you'll find is that you're going to step out of the thinking, you're going to feel more calm, you're going to feel more peaceful, and this just can go so much deeper than you think because a lot of the times we're unconsciously in our heads without realizing it. So you bring your awareness to the sensation of your breathing in your day-to-day life. Let's say you're brushing your teeth, or maybe you're even talking to somebody, maybe you're doing your art, maybe you're walking in the park, maybe you're drinking water, like whatever it is that you're doing, if you just bring a little bit of your attention to the focus of your breath. And the key here is not to control your breathing, but just simply to become conscious of what is already happening. Okay, notice how effortless this is. Notice how you're always present to the moment. You just don't really realize it because you're very caught up in the things that are happening and then the thoughts in your head that are attached to what is happening. But then the moment you bring your awareness to the sensation of your breathing, there's this peace and there's calmness that arises within you that you never even notice. And that's the interesting thing about the breathing that I think is that we're always breathing, we're just not conscious of it. That's the interesting thing that blows my mind every single time because we're literally, like these sensations that I'm going to be talking about that are always happening in your experience are always happening. You're just not aware or conscious of them. You're unconscious of the breathing. So when I say become conscious of the breath, I'm saying notice that you're already breathing. Just notice that and then incorporate that into your daily life. And what you'll find is that your life is going to become a lot easier to deal with. I don't know if that was English, but it's okay. It's going to be easier to deal with. You're going to have less problems because you're not going to be thinking as much. You're just going to be here right now. You're going to connect to your being, not thinking. Okay, so the second way to become more present to the moment is to feel the energy field of your body. Okay, so this one's going to see, these sound so simple, right? But then when you actually try it, you notice that you can actually become more conscious without thinking about it. It's going to help you to step out of the thinking. So you can feel your feet on the floor or your hands or whatever it is that you're doing. It's going to really, really help you to be more conscious and be here right now. So let me ask you a question, okay? How do you know your hands are there without thinking about them or seeing them? Okay, close your eyes right now. Test this out for yourself. How do you know your hands are there without thinking about them or seeing them? Okay, I'm just going to give you the answer. You become directly conscious of them. Boom, your attention goes from the thinking into your hands. Boom. You notice how you don't have to be thinking to be conscious of your hands. And if you incorporate this into your daily life, you're going to already feel more present with everything that you do because you're not going to be sucked into the thinking. It's the ability, and that's what really meditation is the ability to step out of the thinking and go into the moment. But then also to sustain that. Because what's going to happen is as you become more present, without realizing it, you're going to have an unconscious pattern to go back into the thinking. And so the key here is to sustain this and incorporate these techniques into your daily life so that you can actually stay present with whatever it is that you're doing. A great way to invite presence into your life is when you're doing the simple things in life. You're going to start to notice the beauty and the aliveness of the simple things, like just being on a chair downstairs. Like just being on a chair downstairs. It could be an amazing experience if you allow it to be. There's always a beauty in every moment if you become conscious of it. There's always this beauty that is in every moment, whether you're just sitting on a chair or you're talking to somebody or you're in nature. Sometimes situations can be more beautiful visually than others. But even if you're in a simple scenario, like just being in an empty room with like a chair, you can find the beauty in the aliveness of the moment right there. If you connect yourself deeply to the moment using these techniques, you'll find it yourself. Okay, and the third way to become more present to the moment is to really deeply focus on what you're seeing. Okay, and this one's going to be a little bit harder for some people, but if you practice this, you're going to get a lot better at this, and you're going to start to see the beauty and the aliveness of what you're seeing without thinking about it. Okay, and some people don't think that this is possible, but it's a lot more simple than you think. Sometimes in your nature, you might get a glimpse of this happening when you're looking at a tree. You just see the tree and you see the beauty and the aliveness of the tree without thinking about it. Or maybe you're looking at the sky, just looking at the clouds. You're not really thinking about it. You're just seeing the beauty of the sky. Sometimes you can get to this when you're deeply in a conversation with somebody, looking at somebody in the eyes, or you won't be thinking. But a great way to practice this technique is to grab an object in your room, look at that object, and try to look at that object without thinking about it. Okay, try to look at it with presence. Try to take that object and notice how as you're looking at that object, so for an example, if you grab a pencil in your room, as you look at the pencil, what your mind tends to do is to say, okay, this is a pencil, and you start to think about a pencil as you're looking at the pencil. Okay, but here's the technique. Try to see the presence of the pencil without thinking about it whatsoever. So this requires no thinking. You just look at the pencil without thinking about it and just see the aliveness of the pencil. And as silly as it sounds, you'll start to notice exactly what I'm talking about if you just try this technique and look at an object. And when you begin to get better at this, you can apply this in your daily life when you're talking to somebody, when you're in a conversation, if you're just sitting on the bench. I love to just be in nature and just really connect to what I'm seeing. And as I do this, I combine the other two techniques, or I focus on my breathing as I'm looking at something, and I feel the energy field of my body. Okay, so that's a bonus tip right there. Combine all of these three tips together and notice what happens in your experience. Try to focus on your breathing and look at something at the same time and not label it as anything. Just see it for what it really is. And as you're doing this, focus on the feelings of you holding that thing you're looking at. Focus on your hands or your feet. Combine these things, and this is the key, is to sustain this for as long as you possibly can in the moment. And you don't have to do this the whole day. You don't have to do this the whole day. Just in that moment right there. Just try it right now. Try it later. But you don't have to do it the whole day. You just have to do it in that moment. And if you realize that you lost it, just bring it back and try to incorporate this in your day as much as possible. You only have to worry about that moment in time, because this moment is all we have. And you don't need to worry about any other moment other than that moment right there. And just try to stay connected to the present in that moment. It doesn't take any time to do this. You can do this right away, just with a little bit of focus and practice. And as you do this more, you're going to build the habit and get a lot better. So that's all I have for you today. If you like this kind of content, then consider hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell. If you want to apply for a free consultation to enter the present moment much deeper, get rid of all this conceptual thinking, get rid of the anxiety, fears, and worries, and connect deeply to the moment, then check out the link in the description below and apply for a free consultation. That's all I have for you today. Have yourself a great day and see you in the next video.